Welcome to the TFM podcast. Today is going to be our first episode. We're going to be talking about the Premier League standing prediction and who's going to go down and who's going to win the Premier League. So let's get to it. So let's start with the bottom three. I got Norwich, Watford, and Southampton as the bottom three. So let's talk about it. So Norwich City. Norwich City is a team that lacks good defense. It's a team that their defense is a bit suspect, and they lost Buendia in the attack. Buendia was their sole creator, the guy they relied on very much, their star man. So they lost Buendia, and they didn't replace him in the market. So Norwich, if you had bad defense in the first place, not bad, but like nothing very good. So you never had a good defense, and now you lost your best player. It's non-brainer. So Norwich will be going down. They'll be 20th. All right, so let's talk about Watford. Watford, for me, they're number 19. And the reason I want for me to go down is between them and Burnley. But you see, they were the best defensive team in the championship. So when it comes to between them and Burnley, Burnley is a good defensive Premier League team. So now we're talking about a team that has more experience in the Premier League, in the aspect of defense, compared to a team that's coming up that were good in the championship. So for me, like, it was a slight, Burnley slightly edges it for me, for them to survive, and Watford goes down. Watford, they have a lot of exciting young players, that are a lot with players that have a lot of flair, good dribblers, and their defense is pretty good. So it's a team that might surprise people and they might survive. But for me, it's just I think they lack a bit of quality and their end product is not that good. So and honestly, they don't have any Premier League striker that can get you at least 15 goals. So that's why I think they'll be going down. All right. So the surprising team here, it will be Southampton. Southampton for me is a team that it's kind of sad to see Southampton going down, because Southampton was a perennial mid-team table, because it was a team that was always around 10, 11. But like for the last 4 years, Southampton, they've been struggling to do anything in the Premier League, and they've been they were right there in the dogfight for the relegation battle every single year for the last 4 years. And I think this is the year they go down, because in the Premier League, if your defense is not any good and you lose your 20 goal scorer in Danny Ings, you have no chance. You have no chance to survive. All right, now let's go to the teams that are gonna be in the dogfight. Uh, so I'm gonna go for Burnley, Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Brighton. So Burnley. Burnley, this team is. I'm not a big fan of the way they play, and it's a team that I just don't understand how they keep surviving every year. It must be their defense. So those big center backs are helping them, and yeah. So Burnley, I'm predicting for them that they're gonna survive one more year. So yeah, it's all about the defense, man. Their offense is too bad, and they never buy anything. That squad is they've been together for so long. They don't have much quality. I can easily see them going down, Burnley. So let's see. So number 16 for me is Brentford. Brentford is a team that I'm a big fan of. This team, they worked so hard for them to come back to the Premier League. It's the first time they're coming to the Premier League. And this team is amazing, man. They're a modern team. They use analytics. That's how they buy their players. They have one of the best business models in football. Buy cheap and sell big. And teams like Brentford that are pretty smart teams, they normally survive in the Premier League. But it depends on how good your defense is. Last year in the championship, they had the best defense when it comes to the numbers. So maybe they can bring something amazing to the table. So let's see what they do. So for me, I think they'll survive. All right, number 15, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace is a team that I'm surprised. I'm pretty surprised in how they're buying. This team is a team that was very old team, and it looked like they'll be going down. But the way they're buying nowadays is very, very smart. They're buying young players that have a lot to prove, and they have a lot of skills and a lot of way to develop. I like their business plan right now. So, and them hiring Patrick Vieira is I think is a good hire. Let's see how it goes for them. But I'm a big fan of Crystal Palace. Mikel Olise and Esse, very, very, very good players. Very, very good players. All right, so let's go to number 14, Brighton. Brighton for me is a team. You know how it is with Brighton. They exceed their expected goals and goals against, and they were not any good last year, and they were supposed to collect way more points than they did, and they should have scored way more goals than they did, and it never worked for them last year. But I think it's a team that easily can perform how they're supposed to, and it will go well for them. So now let's go to the mid-team table teams. So for me, Newcastle, West Ham, Everton, and Wolves. That 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 will be the mid-team table for me. So let's talk about Newcastle. Newcastle, we will kind of feel like it's kind of high for them because a lot of people put Newcastle in the dogfight. But for me, I think they'll be good this year because their young players are improving, and just now they bought Joe Willock from Arsenal, so that player is very good. He scored 8 goals last year in 14 Premier League games for them. He's an amazing midfielder. He can score goals and everything, and I think the success of Newcastle all depends on Wilson. If that man can stay healthy, they're gonna be good. If he cannot stay healthy, then they're done. They will probably be down there. So and Bruce, you know how it is. Their defense is decent. So let's go. So this is gonna be like another shocker, West Ham, but I think they'll struggle this year. I think last year is an anomaly for West Ham. I think West Ham cannot finish that high again. And their coach, I think he's a good coach, but come on, man. Moyes is kind of done here. So last year, I think it will be a one-off kind of year, and them being in Europa League, it's gonna be hard. Like with the squad they have to maintain the Premier League and the Europa League. That's what we tend to see with these mid-team tables that finish in the top six. They normally struggle in the Europa League outside of Wolves and Leicester. So so now let's talk about Everton. Everton is a team that got a new coach, and I think they're not gonna struggle. But I know Everton is not good enough for Everton, but I think they need to adapt to the moment because this team is a team that don't play much defense, and all they care about is attacking and flair. And so now getting Rafa Benitez is, in my opinion, is not that good of a fit because this team is a team that don't play any defense. So maybe that's the reason they brought him. But those players, they've been together for a lot of years, and all they do is just attack. So it's gonna take some time for them to adapt to a defensive coach. So they're this is not a struggling, but it's mid-team table. So I'm sure they're aiming for higher. So maybe they can try that next year. All right, Wolves. Wolves is a team that struggled last year because they had a lot of injuries. The biggest one was for them was Jimenez. Man, that man was too important for them. Losing him was kind of tough. So now I think with them getting him back and getting all their players back, Prudence and all the players, and getting the new coach, I think they'll be good because this new coach, he's much more attacking coach than Nuno, and so let's see, because the fundamentals of defense is there. The players, they understand in where they need to be and what they need to do defensively. So now you get an attacking coach on top of the players they have. I think that would be a good fit, and I think they'll have a good season. They'll have a bounce back season, and they'll finish 10th. All right, now, okay, let's now we will go to the section of 9 to 7. Okay, 9. 9, I think it will be Aston Villa. I think it will be Aston Villa. That team is a very, very, very smart team. Very smart. And they know how to invest and strengthen their squad. This season they lost Grealish, but then they did well to replace him because I know he's unreplaceable for them, but they did well to at least get some quality in the team that they don't miss him that much. They got Buendia from Norwich City, very good addition. He's a player that can create a lot of chances. He created a lot of chances last time he was in the Premier League. And they got Leon Bailey from Bayern Leverkusen, fast, dynamic, player that can create, that can score goals. I think he would be very good for them. And then they got Danny Ings from Southampton. Danny Ings is a player that his injury record is kind of tough, but it's a player that will, if he can stay healthy and you can create chances for him, he will give you 20 goals. So that's a very good addition on top of what they had. So amazing summer, and I think they'll have a good season. They'll finish ninth. All right, so number 8. Number 8 for me, it will be Leeds. Leeds is a team that is beautiful to watch because that team, mostly all they care about is their attacking output. They're not that defensive of a team. They're like mid-team table defense, but their attack is up there. I would say easily a top 6 offense, and their coach is a genius. He's a genius, and he's a walking legend. So if you watch Leeds, they're beautiful, and they have a lot of good players. Harrison and Rafinha, amazing creators, man, amazing. And Bamford is a lucky guy to have those guys to be creating for him every day. And I know he's an okay striker, but hey, every 3 chances he will give you 1 goal, so that's good enough. Let's be honest. So I think they'll have a very, very good season. They'll finish 8th. And hey, you go from strength to strength. Last year you finished 10th or 9th, and you go up. This year you finish 8th. You aim for 6th and higher next year. So now let's get to the top 7 teams. Hey, it's gonna get a lot harder right now. So for me, 6th and 7th, it will be between the two North London teams. It will be either Arsenal or either it will be Spurs. In my opinion, if Kane stays at Tottenham, I think Tottenham will finish 6th and Arsenal will finish 7th. But if Kane leaves, I think Arsenal will finish 6th and Tottenham will finish 7th. I know I'm kind of not giving you like the answer you need in the aspect of I'm not giving you like straight up like who's 6th and 7th, but I think it kind of depends, because if Kane leaves, I don't see Spurs finishing in the top 6, man. No way. And Arsenal, bro, like Arsenal is a team that's very frustrating. They did not invest in their squad much, and hey, the investments they made is not enough for a team that finished 8th 2 years running. Is not enough. What they invested, not enough at all. So it's a team that's the owner is not good, and the manager is not good enough, and also like the people that run it, they're not good enough. Is a giant of a club that's dying. So I hope they do something to save that. Okay, so let's move on to 5th. So 5th is Leicester City. This team is every team in the Premier League that's not City, United, and Chelsea, and you can say Liverpool, should be admiring what Leicester is doing. This team, they invest right, they buy the right profile of players, and they sell well. They never fust. If they think their player is worth 60 million, you're paying 60, nothing less. It's just that simple. And it's a team that won the league not too long ago, and they won the FA Cup last year. They won the Community Shield like 2-3 days ago. Amazing, bro, amazing. Like this team, they finished 5th 2 years running. It's a shame that Arsenal and Spurs are not doing what they're supposed to. Like easily they should be here, but they're not because they're not investing right and they're not run right. So let's move on. So now it's gonna come down to the top 4. Yeah, top 4 is done. Everybody knows United, Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Nobody else is breaking to that top four. Let's be honest. Nobody's doing that. So now let's talk about who I think will finish fourth. I think United will finish fourth. I know they're aiming for higher, but I think that's all they can get right now. It's not that I'm talking shit right now, but it's just simply United. They have the worst coach out of the other four teams. It's just that simple. Oli is not good enough. The other three teams have better coaches, world class coaches, other than him. And the other thing is, United is the worst ranked club out of the four teams. Let's be honest. They're owned by right now. They bought Varane. Okay, everybody's hyping him up, but I think the guy. I think they just want for the name. They didn't go for quality or what fits the team. They just want for the name. And let's be honest, Madrid don't sell their players if they think they need him. So I think Madrid realized that they got the best years, and he's not good enough anymore, bro. Let's be honest. If the guy is 28, why would they sell Ramos and Varane in the same summer if they need him? They don't. So United went for the names, but hey, let's see how it goes for him. He might work, but for me, I'm kind of thinking it's not gonna work. So uh, yeah. So third, who do I think that will finish third? I think Chelsea will finish third. I know Chelsea after they just got Lukaku. It's kind of hard for me to say that they're not gonna finish second. But I think Liverpool is coming for a revenge season this season. I think they're coming for that revenge because everybody's like slanging them off and they're saying, "Oh, Liverpool's done," and they shouldn't be making top four and all that stuff. So hey, I think this is the redemption year for them, and I think Liverpool will slightly edge the second spot, and Chelsea is gonna get that third spot. Chelsea is an amazing. Let's be honest, they're amazing. The team just won the Champions League. They had the best defense ever in a Champions League run for a team that won, and they're in a good place. They just won the Super Cup, and they have young players. They have a world-class coach. They just got Lukaku. That's the only weakness they had last year. They had no striker, and now they got one of the best strikers in the world. They have one of the best defenses in the world, and hey, it's a complete team, but they're kind of young. I think it will take time for them to win the league, and hey, maybe next year. But that's their time, for sure. But it depends on City. City is looking crazy right now. All right, let's talk about Liverpool a little bit. Liverpool is a team that got 198 points for 2 seasons. This team is one of the best teams ever in the history of the Premier League. And it's a team, they're still together, bro. And last year it was a tough year for them because they lost their leader in Van Dijk, and their defense was kind of bad because they lost also Gomez in the same season. So I know it's a team that's not investing much, and I kind of feel sorry for Klopp because the team is not changing. They're not, if like if you don't want your cycle to come to an end, you have to change and change and change. Just how City do it and Chelsea is doing it. They don't stop. They spend money and they change. But I guess Liverpool don't have that kind of war chest, so it's okay. But like at least they buy smart and they sell smart. Liverpool, so at least you have a good system and people that can do their job. So this is not Manchester United and Arsenal Football Club. Let's be honest. And so Liverpool, we know for with them, Van Dijk is gonna be back. Trent is here. Salah, Mane, they're good, bro. So hey, redemption season for them. And finally, we come to the champion of the 2021-2022 season, Manchester City. Honestly, I don't see anybody else winning this outside of Manchester City because they just got Grealish on top of what they had, and it's rumored that they want to get Harry Kane. If they get Harry Kane, nobody even comes close, bro. It's the league is done. The league is done. This team is a team that create chances for fun, and they had the best defense in Europe last year. Imagine Pep Guardiola was known for his attacking football and the brilliance of their attack, and now their defense is something. It's something, bro. Let's be honest. They had the best defense in Europe. It's just that simple. And on top of all that, we're talking about a team that won the league, the Premier League, and reached the Champions League final. that added Harry Kane and Jack Grealish. It's done, bro. Wrap up the league, and hey, everybody can try next year, right? This was the first episode. If you guys think you can give me any advice and things that I can improve on, you guys can hit me up at my Twitter, DF Boogie. And hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel and leave a comment if you think, if you agree with me or if you disagree with me. All right, guys, have a good day. Peace.